Okay, here we have a 2003 Trailblazer, and we're working on getting the bumper cover off. So you'll find videos out there that show you this. You get a plastic plug here in the center, you get a bolt here, and a bolt on this side. And here's the front view. And then you come over here, and there is a bolt, or rather one of these black plastic plugs that goes right here. And there's one on the other side. And then in behind the fender here, you just pull this inner fender back, and right in here, okay, this right here pushes forward, and you have to push down this little plastic tab in the middle and then push it forward. So you push down the little plastic tab here, and then the bumper will push forward and come off of this stub. So once that happens, everything is pretty easy to follow. But the thing I was unable to find any information about were these 4 plastic, get the camera situated here. So if you're at the front of the vehicle here, I've already got the grill off. And you come down here, you can see the oil cooler or the power steering cooler in there, and that's what I'm after. But right under here are 4 plastic clips. There's 2 there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 1 on each side and 2 in the middle. And those have to come off. So that was a mystery as I was tugging on this, trying to figure it out. And let me get that out. Let me get those plugs out of there. And I got one out, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of a bigger plug. That's one of them. So I'm going to pry those other 3 out, and I'll come back and tell you if it came off or not. Okay, so the plugs are out, and I used one of these tools, which is made for removing these plugs. But this was even a little bit narrow for the thickness of the base of that plug, and one of them wouldn't come out, so I wound up using these hose pliers here to grab onto it and yank it out. Now, they weren't the easiest, but they did come out, and now I'm going to try to get that bumper off and get to that rotten oil cooler back there. All right, be right back. Okay, as soon as I undid those 4 plug bolts, or 4 plug attachment devices underneath there, this bumper very easily was able to be just lifted and removed all in one piece. But I do want to show you the part that kind of boggled me for a moment or two, were these side pieces. You got that one that hinges on this peg. You got the 3 in the front of the bolt, or in the front of the bumper, right in front after you take the grill out. And you've got, like I said, the 4 plugs underneath there. And now I have access to the oil cooler. So hopefully that helps somebody get their own bumper off of a 2003 Trailblazer. I believe they're the same for quite a few years, 02 through 05 probably. Okay, so one more thing. When you get in here and you get that, you can see I've taken off the power steering cooler now, and there's this plastic bracket that kind of surrounds the bottom of it, making it very difficult to get to it without removing this bumper. I would imagine if you could go under there, and if you didn't care about that part, you could cut that right out of there, and then you'd have access to that power steering cooler without having to remove the bumper and the grill. But even so, once you get it off, it's still kind of difficult to get the power steering cooler out of there. So what I found is just get in here and just crank down on this thing and pull it forward. You know, it's not going to hurt it. So if you just pull it forward and crank it out of the way, you'll be able to get that power steering cooler out of there.